All right, we are all set up. How is everyone doing?
Just dandy.
Is everybody ready to begin?
Yes. I believe so.
Okay, I'm gonna have everybody starting. Whose witness is this? Who subpoenaed them?
The state, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm gonna have starting with the state. Introduce yourself, both of you, or at least whoever's going to be speaking. Um, at all. If you're not going to be speaking, then you do not have to. But you also are not allowed to speak once you do that. Yeah, introduce yourself. Consent to being recorded.
Burt McKnight, second chair, Department of Justice. I get set to being recorded. This is paralegal. He is not. He's just here for observation purposes.
All
Well, I
right.
apologize. Technically, he is a prosecutor. I apologize.
All right, that's fine. If he wants to speak at any point, he just needs to state his name and consent now.
Just in case, Parker Baker, and I do consent to being recorded.
Lovely. All right, let's move on to the defense.
Hello, this is Ernst Schneider with the Public Defender's Office. I consent to being recorded.
Stephen Armstrong with the Public Defender's Office. I also consent to being recorded.
Lovely. And if we could have the witness also introduce yourself and consent to being recorded today.
I am Toriro, and I do consent to be recorded.
Beautiful. And Mr. Montana Moss, you are with us today. Do you consent to being recorded?
I am Montana Moss, and I approve this message and consent.
All right. Lovely. We're going to begin with the party who subpoenaed the witness, so that's going to be the state. You may object at any point. Since the judge is here, he may choose to rule on the objections here and now. Or if he does not wish to, we will continue on with the questioning and simply state the objection for the court's records. Is that understood?
Understood.
Yes.
Okay. For any objection the judge does not want to rule on, I am only going to allow one back and forth. And then that will be that. So I'll make it promising or worthwhile. All right, the floor is yours, Bert, whenever you are ready.
One last thing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the deposition procedure. It does very explicitly say both parties may ask leading questions, so please don't object to leading.
Yes, Your Honor.
Understood, Your Honor.
Now the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, first, ma'am, could you please state your name and occupation?
I am Toriro, and I work for San Andreas Fire Rescue as a EMT.
Thank you, Miss Rowe. So purpose of this deposition is going to be going over what is considered to be incident 1, kidnapping and torture of Tori Rowe. Do you recall being kidnapped on September 14th, 2024?
Indeed, I do.
And where were you before you were kidnapped?
Before, I was just here around the, well, not here, but over by City Hall, by Rockford Fire Station in their garage.
Can you describe the moments leading up to your abduction?
I was around the City Hall, and I made my way over to the Rockford Fire Station to have the valet bring out my bike. And then 2 cars pulled up, and individuals with weapons drawn told me to get into their cars.
So how were you then ultimately taken from San Andreas Fire Rescue headquarters?
At gunpoint, I asked them if I could put or have the valet take away my bike, and they let me, and I proceeded to get into the cars. I did not want to get shot.
And so you were placed in a vehicle?
Yes,
How many people were in with you in that vehicle?
I believe there were 3.
What happened after you entered that vehicle?
They drove to a different location and ordered me out of the car and proceeded to search me.
Did they take anything from you?
I believe they took my sapphire badge and my gun. Anything else, I'm not too sure.
What did they do after they searched you?
I was restrained and put in the passenger seat of the car.
How many people were in this car?
1.
And how were you restrained?
My hands were behind my back, tied with what I'm not sure.
Where were you taken to from there?
From there, I was taken to the docks to a garage.
Do you recall what this garage looked like?
Uh, Other than being a cement garage, I just remember the steel shelf in the corner. The rest is hazy to me.
And what happened in the garage?
I was taken out of the car and brought over to the shelf that was in the corner. And that's where they tortured me.
How many people were there to torture you?
And just 1, though I did hear him on the radio.
Did the singular person who drove you to the garage, um, was that the same person that was in the garage with you?
Yes, they were the driver.
What injuries did you sustain?
I received injuries to my hands from multiple punctures, lacerations to my shoulders, and cuts and punctures to my head.
How were those injuries inflicted upon you?
My hands were released from restraint and brought forward in front of me in a praying position and sewn together around the edges. The injuries to my head was a thorned crown pushed into my scalp, and the lacerations to my shoulders was once I was stood up and chained, and they cut me along my shoulders.
Talking about the person who drove you there and was in the garage with you there, did they say or do anything to you that indicated their intentions?
Uh, they kept referring or asking me if I was religious, and if I wasn't, they would make me religious. They also kept speaking about things that referred to religion, either meeting a monk or wanting to make me a display and something of those sorts where it was very focused around religion or threatening in a manner.
Do you recall if a fishing line was ever involved in this incident?
I believe after the fact, I was informed that my hands were sewn together with the fishing line.
Um, what actions or objects left a lasting impact on you physically or emotionally?
Physically, my hands did experience issues with them after the effect of mobility and also soreness, and also the injuries to my scalp. Uh, they took the longest to heal out of everything.
How has this incident affected your daily life and sense of safety?
In the sense of safety, it made me more wary. Tried to make sure I had someone I trusted with me at all times if I could, looking over my shoulder more often.
Okay, thank you, Miss Rowe. The state at this time is going to submit. Actually, first, Miss Rowe, did you seek medical attention for your injuries?
I believe I was brought to the hospital after the incident by Sappher and was seen by Dr. Z.
The state will submit into evidence Exhibit Q2, Tory Rowe medical records.
Okay. Any objection from the defense?
1 secundo.
And while you are looking up, taking your moment, are you going to rule on the evidence here, Montana? Or would you just like it submitted for the record, for your review later?
Well, let's wait on if there's an objection.
Okay.
No, there's no objection.
Okay. And yeah, so admitted.
You may continue.
And I believe the rest of this will be submitted at a later time. Yeah.
Rhea, do you have any more questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor, that's all.
All right. Defense, would you like to question the witness now?
1 moment to confer with co-counsel, Your Honor.
Of course.
Reminder: this is not cross.
See, it is not.
Scope is wide open.
Okay.
Shit, my recording just bugged out. You're still good?
Aye, aye.
We have no questions.
All right. Lovely. Anything further from the state?
Nothing further.
All right. Both are you happy to call an end to this deposition?
Yes, Your Honors.
Yes, Your Honors.
All right. Beautiful. This deposition is over. Everybody is free to go. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss
very much.
Rowe.
Of course.
Hold on, knuckleheads. Miss Rowe, you are free to go.
Okay.
Ernst and Bert, real quick. The stuff on the docket.
Do you want me to keep recording?
I mean, it's up to you. It doesn't matter. Ernst, how are these records relevant to this case? The medical records of your client from 2-5.
Yeah, no, I know which records you mean. You know, on second thought, given that we rescinded the motion to stay, I definitely agree with the fact that they don't really hold any relevance anymore. So we are happy to release that motion as well.
Perfect. Any issues with that, State?
Negative, Your Honor.
All right. Any last things before we skedaddle?
Let's skedaddle.
All right. What? Wait. Ernst, last call. Ernst,
Yeah.
last call. Anything?
We would call PC hearing in regards to the DNA warrant, as there are facts missing from it and also inconsistencies in it that we would like to call into question.
PC warrant for which? For
The DNA
Miss
warrant.
Winters? Okay.
Yeah. One report appears to be missing even after corrections were made. It still seems to be just, I think if the first incident is missing, it just seems to be a copy of the second incident. Like the second incident is there twice. And also that incident where her gloves were taken. It's never articulated why they were taken, and all that stuff.
Which exhibits are you referencing? I'm sorry, I have a whole list here.
Okay. Hold on. Before we get, are we doing this now, or do we wanna
No, it's more just a motion.
give people
I
prep?
I would like to go to the whole like voting stuff because I would like to potentially congratulate my friend James Hill on being state rep. And it's also getting really late, and I'm losing my friggin' fumes. Your
Okay.
Honor.
Okay. So here's what we take out of this. Put your availabilities on the docket for the next few days, and we'll get a PC hearing scheduled.
Appreciate it, Your Honor.
Your Honor, could the state please ask the courts to have the defense file their motion of probable cause hearing, just so that we can see what all they are contesting?
Any issue with that, Ernst?
No.
All right.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Do it on the docket. Long and
Appreciate
short
it.
of it.
I'll do a full motion of everything that we are contesting, so that the state can, prepare, and there's no, grounds for being called an unfair trial.
All right. Wonderful. All right. Now, is there anything else?
Nope, not from the defense, Your Honor.
Get that out of here.
Thank you, Your Honors.
Over the doors unlocked.
Can you please strike James Hill's name from the record as well on the transcript? Thank you.
Okay.
Why? Why would we check? What? Why?
Negative. You guys consented.